Hello to my learners and my viewers. Today I am back again with another video. This time I am going to talk about the chapter Tsunami. So before we start the chapter, I would like you to show some visuals of tsunami and what amount of destruction this word tsunami has caused to the world. So I'll be sharing some visuals and the sources are National Geography channel. So there is this website of National Geographic. There is on left hand side you will see the description of the video, the description of the images. So you can see this white churns of water. This is basically the waves that are forming due to the earthquake, and the place is between Indonesian island of Sumatra and Indian Andaman Islands. Next image is again of a fisherman who is trying to dig out a boat washed ashore by 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. Then again, this is the Sri Lankan woman who is collecting personal items from as her husband surveys damage to their coastal Colombo home 2 days after a tsunami swept through the Indian Ocean. Again, you can see so much debris. Uh, sorry, sorry, it was just a click. All right, we are back. Okay, so the third image shows uh, this debris that has been caused, and he is walking through. This is in Chile on April 2000. After an April 2010 8.8 magnitude earthquake, which also caused tsunamis on the coastal islands. Then this is 12-year-old Fatma Nusrat. She is standing amid the debris in Gale, Sri Lanka. We also have a story from Sri Lanka in our chapter. This is the 2004 December Indian Ocean tsunami. Then again you can see all the trees that has been left. They are cleaning their house. Amount of debris and destruction that has been caused. You can see people cleaning and trying to rehabilitate themselves. So these are all images that talks about it all talks about all such kinds of tsunami. Now I'll take you to the chapter. So let's start with the chapter now. We will talk about tsunami. Alright, so when you open this chapter on the first page, you have some pre-reading activity, and here a map has been shown of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. You can also this time a lot of maps, lot of features are available on the Google Maps through satellite view and various other techniques. You can look over it on Google Maps too. So we have a map of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and then there are certain questions related to this. So we will just look at the map and then we'll try to find out whether these statements are correct or not. Kachal is an island. Alright, so this is the part of Nicobar Islands and this is correct. Second is it is a part of Andaman group of islands. This is false because it is part of Nicobar Islands. Nankauri is an island in Nicobar group. Yes, we found it here. This is correct. Nankauri is an island of Nicobar group. So this is correct. Then Kajal and Nankauri are more than 100 miles apart. No, it doesn't seem so. I don't have the book right now, but this is at least 1 centimeter or something. So this is less than that. It is less than 100 miles. Then we have a question. Andaman Nicobar Islands are to the west of India. No, if you look at the map of India, it is towards the eastern side. And then again, Nicobar Island, this is quite clear. If this is north, then Nicobar Islands lie to the south of the Andaman Islands. So these were the answers. Let's start the chapter now. A tsunami is a very large and powerful wave caused by earthquakes under the sea. On 26 December 2004, a tsunami hit Thailand and other parts of India, such as Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Tamil Nadu coast. Here are some of stories of courage and survival. So we always have some stories of survival and courage, strategies that were adopted by the people during the time of destruction or during this time of tsunami, a danger when people try to save their lives anyhow. So did animals sense that a tsunami was coming? Some stories suggest that did. We will also come to know about in this chapter that animals have a kind of sense in them, a sixth sense that tells them about a destruction that is about to happen, and somehow that saves their life. So we'll start with the chapter. Uh, First of all, we'll talk about few stories. This chapter is divided into three parts. This is the first part which talks about the stories that have come out of Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. What is archipelago? Archipelago is a group of many islands and the surrounding sea. So we know Andaman and Nicobar Islands are a group of islands. Now, first story we'll talk about. This is about Ignatius. Ignatius was the manager of a cooperative society in Kajal. His wife woke him up at 6 a.m. Now, his wife had felt about an earthquake and she came to woke him up so that they could save themselves. Ignatius, what he did, he took the television and he set it on the ground. See, all the things are materialistic. You can again get them in your life. So please don't, whenever there is such disaster, don't run after such things. The only important thing at that moment of time is to save your life. Is to save your life, save your family. So never in your life, whenever there is any destruction or any disaster, try to save your life first, and rest all things are temporary. You will not get your life back. All right. So they ran out of the house and the family rushed to save themselves. Then they felt some tremors. Tremors, you need the shocks that you feel during an earthquake. So they could feel that. They saw that the sea was rising. Chaos. Chaos is disorder and confusion. So chaos is basically when you don't know what to do. So there is a lot of irregularity. आप फंस चुके हैं, आपका दिमाग नहीं सोच पा रहा है कि आपको करना क्या है. दैट इज नोन एज क्योर्स एंड कंफ्यूजन अगेन when you are not able to decide what you have to do. So now listen to me very carefully. In this event, he lost his wife, he lost two children, his father-in-law and his brother-in-law. He lost all of them because they ran in some other direction. However, he, along with three other children, could save his life. This was the story of Ignatius. Now, second story is of Sanjeev. See, I have just scrolled down the page quickly, but you can understand how it must have felt to Ignatius, who saw his family losing their life in front of him, and he could not do anything to save them in front of the giant waves that came that day. So the amount of agony, the amount of grief that he might be, and the visuals that would come to his mind again and again throughout his life about this incident. These are like, it's so difficult to see those visuals and go through them along with life. But life says let go and you have to move on. But you will never, these memories and these incidents are unforgettable in someone's life. Alright. Sanjeev. Now, second story on Andaman Nicobar Island is of Sanjeev. He was a policeman and he was in Kashal Island of the Nicobar group of islands. He saved his wife, he saved his baby daughter, but then he saw that his guest house cook, who was John, his wife had jumped in, like she was being swept away by the waves. Sanjeev did not think about anything. He just went into the waves to try to save. So there are various qualities that we get to know about Sanjeev over here. But how selfless he was. How selfless he was that he jumped. And his husband is also there, but he jumped to save the life of Guest Cook's wife. That this is all the qualities of all the policemen. So salute to all the policemen because they always think about the lives of other persons first before there. And here he also sacrificed his family because he lost himself and the wife was also swept away. John's wife was also swept away by the water. So these are horrifying stories that we are going to read over here. Now, third story is of Meghna. Meghna was also swept away along with her parents and 77 other people. Now, she was quite lucky because she was floating in the sea on a wooden door, and 11 times she had seen the relief helicopters, but from such a height, it becomes very difficult to look below, and you can see them, but they cannot see you. So naturally she's like God saved her life, or you can say this was a natural relief to her. She was saved by the nature by a shore. She went to the shore by a wave, and then she was walking in daze. Now daze, what is the meaning of daze? It is basically a verb, and its past tense is dazed and past participle is dazed. So it means in an emotional shock. She was shocked because she saw that she has lost her family and she also lost the lives of several other people. She could not do anything to save them. So she was in an emotional shock, and that is why she was walking day very in a very confused way. All right. Next story is of Almas Javed. She was 10 years old, and she studied in Carmel Convent in Port Blair. Her father had a petrol pump. Her mother, Rahila's home was in Nankauri Island. Nankauri Island is in Nicobar Group of Islands, which is south of Andaman Islands. So they had gone basically there to celebrate Christmas. So when they felt the tremors in the morning, they all were sleeping. So Alma's father, he saw that the water was receding, but he understood that the waves are going to come back and in a more furious way. So he understood that the water would come rushing back with greater force. Then he woke them up and asked them to move to a safer place. When they were running, you can see also the visual how terrifying it is and how it destroyed everything that came into the path of the waves. So grandfather was hit by something and he fell down. So he died at the same time. Grandfather lost his life. Her father rushed to help him, but then the first giant swept both of them away. So grandfather also went and the father also went. Now Alma's mother and aunts, they stood clinging to the leaves of a coconut tree, but ultimately that tree was also uprooted, and they also were washed away by the waves. Then Alma saw a log of wood floating. She climbed on it. Then she fainted. Fainted means she lost consciousness. She became unconscious. When she woke up, she was in a hospital in Camorda. From there, she was brought to Port Blair. The little girl does not want to talk about the incident with anyone. She is still traumatized. See, such incidents often leave uh, great agony to someone's life. You cannot recall such incidents. You cannot revisit those incidents even in your thought process. So, when someone asks you about the incident, it becomes very difficult to tell you about such incidents. Now we have some comprehension check questions, question answers. Let's go through them. All right. So first, Ignatius lost his wife, two children, his father-in-law and brother-in-law in the tsunami. This is correct. This is true. Second, Sanjeev made it to the safety after the tsunami. Is it? No. Sanjeev, it is false because he lost his life saving John's wife. Meghna was saved by a relief helicopter. No, she was saved by a natural wave when she landed. She was taken up to a shore. Alma's father realized that a tsunami was going to hit the island. Yes, he saw the waves receding away and he thought they are going to come back in a more furious way. Her mother and aunts were washed away with the tree that they were holding on to. Yes, this is correct, and they also were swept by the waves.